So as you all know, Booktubeathon wrapped up recently, and although I wasn't able to fully participate, I did participate in the reading aspect as much as I could. I do work a 40-hour week, so it's difficult to participate unless I happen to have some days off or something like that. So, but I am proud of what I got done. I did get all of the reading that I had planned finished, so I think that's quite an accomplishment, especially since I had so little time. I really, I don't get home until 6, and then I just have kind of the evening to read. And of course, I did have the weekend before it officially ended. So the first book that I read for Booktubeathon, and I haven't yet finished it, I read more than half of it during the Booktubeathon week though, so I'm counting it anyway. And the reason I didn't finish it is it's a buddy read, and we were reading it over a 2-week period, and that is The Luminaries. I'm not going to talk about this book again because I feel like I mentioned it in the last 3 videos. But it is historical fiction. It does take place during the gold rush in New Zealand in 1866, and it has a ragtag cast of characters, and it is a lot of fun, but it takes a while to get into. But this does complete the challenge of read a book with the face on the cover, and there is part of a face on the cover, so that is the challenge that I was counting this book for, even though I didn't finish it. The next reading challenge that I completed during Booktubeathon was to read a book with where the character is very different from you. And I have 2 books that I finished actually that kind of can fit that challenge. The first one is Words on Bathroom Walls by Julia Walton. This is about a main character who has, what's his name again? Adam. I thought it was Alex for a second. Adam is the main character of this book. He is a teenager who is dealing with schizophrenia. So he often hears voices and sees people that aren't there. I thought this book was very well written. The only thing that threw me off is it's in sort of diary entry. So it's written in diary, in the form of diary entries. So I didn't really like that much. However, it didn't really pull me out of the book enough to make me dislike it immensely or anything like that. Adam is a great character. I think it represented schizophrenia pretty well, and he had such a good heart. I know a lot of people, when they rated this book, they felt that, he was very self-centered and arrogant. And, he could be those things, but he's also a teenager. So, you go through different times when you are sort of self-centered a little bit. But, overall, I think he's a great character. This also has a little bit of a love story in the fact that, he likes this girl, but he's also hiding this huge part of his life. And the diary entries that this book is written in is diary entries that he's writing to his psychologist. He's going to therapy and he is on medication, but he refuses to talk in therapy. So as a solution, he is told to, if you don't want to talk, just write it out, what you're feeling and how the week goes for you. And that's what this book does. I do think it's a great read. It's a really hard subject. I do know a little bit about schizophrenia. I do have some family members that have it. So I just think that it's a hard subject. But you know what? It wasn't that long. It was only about 300 pages, less than 300 pages. So it didn't take very long, even though it was a slower read. I don't know if that makes sense. It was a slower read, but it still didn't take very long because it's only about 280 pages. I definitely recommend it if you're interested in reading books that have about mental illness, because I think that it represents it very well. The next book that I read during Booktubeathon that could also fit kind of that same challenge is Everything Leads to You by Nina LaCour. This was an odd book. This book is, I think it's considered YA, although the characters were over 18. So this is a book about Emmy. Emmy is, she's graduated high school. She is on to her next adventure, and she actually works for a production company in LA. Um, so she is basically the set design for movies and TV shows, and it's quite exciting. I actually really enjoyed that part. Um, this is a story about where two girls fall in love. So it was a little bit of a different kind of book. I've never read a book where two girls fall in love. Um, but even the love story is not very prevalent. It is in here, but it sort of takes place at the very end. I think this is more about friendships and about finding yourself and accepting yourself. Sorry, my cat is walking around. And accepting yourself more than anything else. There's a great friendship in this book, and I really enjoyed that aspect. So yeah, I mean, it wasn't a fantastic book, but I was happy to get to this anyway because it does fit one of the reading challenges for the Book Riot Read Harder challenge that I'm doing this year. So definitely enjoyed it. It wasn't like the best read, but I think I gave it 3.5 stars. So unfortunately, that is it for the challenges. I did read one more book during Booktubeathon, but it really didn't fit into any of the categories, and that is Dust by Hugh Howey. Now, I won't really review this book or give you a synopsis because it is the third book in the Wool trilogy, but I've spoken about this trilogy before, and it's just, the first book, Wool, is about a world that was somehow decimated. The air outside is unbreathable. It's actually poisonous and will kill you. So everyone that is left lives in these huge underground silos. It's kind of like a humongous skyscraper, but underground. Like it has like over 100 levels that go down into the earth, and it's a very good series. I can't tell you about this book except that it wrapped it up well. I do still have some questions, but overall I did enjoy it, and I also gave it 3.5 stars. So there you have it. Those are the books that I read for Booktubeathon. Like I said, I only was able to partially participate, and because I had such limited time only in the evenings, I really didn't even get to participate in any of the video challenges, but hopefully I will next year. And I still really enjoyed doing what I could for it, and I still really enjoyed the books that I read for it. So yeah, so that is all I have. That is my wrap up for Booktubeathon. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you have a wonderful day. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you all very, very soon.